Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. And since I'm power cycling all my systems right now and getting them updated because of course Windows 10, exciting event for me because it's no longer supported. Well, it is supported for another year, but on most of my systems I don't log into an account with Microsoft, so they're not supported and I won't be bothering to support them any further. And there'll be static systems like I like to use on my hobby systems. So what do we have here? This is an HP Envy, which means it has a metal surface. And let's go through the outside of this thing really quickly. For ports, we have a nice HDMI, a couple of USB, and a microphone. Or I'm sorry, not a microphone, a single audio out and port. Well, I guess it can, it's like one of those multi-ports, because it can do a microphone in too, I guess. Nothing else really. It's like a very clean design. They went after the MacBook look, and again, it's metal, so totally. There's your couple of little indicator lights and another USB, and in something you don't see anymore, you've got yourself a networking jack right there. Let's push it down to get it in. So nice little thing, and of course power, and that's it. And because the way the design of this lid top of the screen folds under, it basically doesn't allow any ports for the back. Yeah, so there you go. That's a quick exterior. I guess I could shut the top to show you what the top looks like. Again, if you didn't notice, like if you weren't looking closely, you'd think it was an Apple device. This is when envy meant HP was envious of Apple's dollar value. So they started copying them. So let's get into the about screen here. So here you go. This is the Windows 10 about screen these days. It seems to have changed over and over again, but this thing is called, first I'll get a name for it, HP Envy 14J153CA laptop. Yeah, that just sort of rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Their naming is terrible. But anyway, I guess it's the least you can figure out what it is. It's right up there with Dell's bizarre naming schemes. Anyway, yeah, it's funny, the other day I was refurbishing a Dell, and for the life of me, I couldn't figure out what the code was. There was nothing identifying what it really was until I booted up the system and went to their website, and it told me what the model was and everything else. It was crazy. Anyway, that's Dell. Anyway, the Hinge King. All right, so let's take a look at this. So we got ourselves a 12 gigabytes of DDR3. We've got ourselves a i5 6200 CPU running at 2.3 gigahertz, so not a bad processor. We got ourselves 128 megabytes of graphics, but believe it or not, this is going to probably be pretty good because it's integrated to the CPU, and of course the storage is 1 terabyte of storage. All right, guys, there you go. So let's get into, dismiss that. Let's get into the other details. We will be running NovaBench, of course, because that's what we do to test general performance across all these systems. Kind of a fair test because it's the same program, right? So we can benchmark it against other systems, and since I've got 100 plus systems, it's a fair way of judging a system. So here we go, and let's face it, CPUs and all this stuff, all these specs are a shell game. They're basically smoke screening what these systems actually, how they really perform. So let's take a look at the processor. Of course, it's an i5, and there's all the details if you want to pause and look at all that. Lots of instruction sets there, lots of info, main things I look at: 2 core, 4 threads, hyper-threaded, main board. We got HP, they call it an 80E0. It has apparently Express 3. Okay. It's running the Skylake processor as mentioned. And here we go. The inside 2019 BIOS, which is pretty good, I think. Memory. This is a funky one now. It says 12 gigabytes of memory, but I think 4 are soldered onto the board, because when I go to my individual memory slots, I get 1 memory slot showing, and then I get nothing. So I think that one's the actual soldered on 4, and it has a supplemented 8 gigabytes of DDR3 Hynix from 2015. So that kind of pretty much tells you how old this system is. It's 2015, 2016 system. Graphicals, it's running the old Intel Graphics 520. And to get more information on the graphics, I usually bring up this, and it shows you the shared and dedicated and stuff. So you got your Intel HD Graphics 520, which is associated with this chip. I've seen it on other systems, and it uses, some of the available DDR3 memory to supplement its 128. So great, that's good. We'll find out how that performs. Here's a general spec of the whole thing, running nice and cool. Hasn't done anything really today. I've just been updating it overnight and stuff, and all the updating's been done a long time ago. So it's been just pretty much sitting, idling cool. So yeah, there you go. It's all the stuff summarized. There's the graphics mode it's in, which is 1920 by 1080. So very, very big graphical screen for a tiny 14-inch laptop. So I like the screen. It's nice and bright and clean and clear and everything. But yeah, that if I actually didn't make adjustments to the screen, everything would be tiny. But anyway, it's adjusted properly. There's that hard drive. So it's a Hitachi hard drive, and it's been running a long time, about 2.5 years. So, but it's still running, doing great. It's really the weak link in the chain. This thing should have an SSD if it's running Windows 10. No optical drive, and just Realtek, a standard Realtek, always on almost all these systems now. It's just Realtek. They sort of dominate the whole game. And before we do that test, we'll look at our crystal disk info, and that gives us our hours run. Yeah, 3. So 950. So that's basically, in rough terms, 2.5 years. I believe it's 2.5 years, or maybe a little more than that. But there you go. And everything's running good. It seems to be saying that everything looks good for the drive smart tests and stuff like that. So here we go. So let's do the final step, which is running NovaBench. And I don't think anything's running right now, so let's just let it go. Let's see how this thing does. Yeah, so just to kind of keep you informed, basically what I do is I power cycle my systems so they don't just sit, because that can actually be a use it or lose it situation. If you know anything about electronics, energy needs to flow through those capacitors and bearings, and have to keep moving from time to time. And so a good way to keep your systems going is to power cycle them at least once a year. So I do power cycles on these systems, and typically what that means is I run them for a couple days and I update everything on them if they still have updates to be run. And just typically just make sure to maintain them. That's all there is to it. There you go, guys. Here's the score. Exciting. So yeah, 772. That is getting close to some desktop speeds there. So doing really well with the RAM. Yeah, the CPU does pretty well, and yeah, the graphics 86, which is 272 FPS, and actually the hardware even scores really well at 49. So surprisingly, this thing runs really, really well and actually gets a very high score. So very nice laptop. And let's try that again. It should be yes, I don't want to. It's like yes, I don't want to save. Instead of do you want to save, I would say no. So that's a very misleading thing. All right, and that's my little screen background. I thought it looked kind of cool. So I don't know where that is. Looks Asian. So there you go, guys. So there it is. This is the quick review of my HP Envy 14-inch. That's what I'm going to call it, not that big long string of random numbers. I think HP uses a number generator, like, you know, the lotto, they, you know, pull balls out of a spinning top or whatever. Yeah, because they're just so strange. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's going to be my video for now. Hope you're having a good Sunday morning. This time I actually got the date right.